Well, there looks to be one or two down here. If we can get down there. First bit of the day. And it looks like it might be willow. Might not. Looks like Chinese inspired one. Another light switch insulator. We'll get that for now. And just playing. There's plenty on shore today. And some big chain thing coming out there. Tide's still going out, I think. And if we get through there, we can actually get out by the prospect of Whitby. Oh, bit there that says City. I wonder if it says City Hospital. That's top of a Red Cross, maybe. Pity there's not more of it, but it is a nice piece. Oh, tin glaze, I think. So it gets washed away in alt waves. And oh, this is some nice plates. Oh, we're finding some nice stuff today. I know it's only a little bit, but and a bit of pipe stem. But there's no markings on that, so I'm going to leave it. Oh. Ow. Another bit. Oh. I don't know, that might be spongeware. You never know. Well, another bit of plain pipe stem there. Yeah, washed about by the edges. Oh, I thought that were a bit of pottery, but it's not. Oh. A bit of a peel on that one. I don't think there's any markings. That's just a bit of pottery and a bit of willow bridge, and there's always some willow. There's a big metal patch here with lots of nails and stuff. Let's see if I can find out interesting. Oh, there's a big chunk there, which I thought were happy, but then I glanced at the other side. Oh, I thought it was pattern. It's not. It's just a bit of plain glaze. Oh, a little bit there. Oh. And on the rock there, a very biggish bit. Mixed in glaze again. And Mary just having a wander about. Oh, more blue. Oh, I think that's definitely willow. Yeah, that's definitely willow. A bit of a heel there, out on it. Looks like an eye, but I might take that bit. Oh, we'll get that out at Ribble. And another one. Lost Mary. Nope, she's there. Oh. Another chunk, probably willow. Now I picked this up thinking it's just a bit of red whatever it is, but with that white glaze on, it's sugar cone mould. But I think it's one of the bottom bit of the cone, because look at that whole bit. Oh, that's a good bit to have. Alright, nearby. Bit of slipware. Want some bigger pieces of that. I'll get a glaze to there. Well, we got one or two nice little bits off there. Nothing that much to write home about, but I do like that sugar cone mould bit. I thought that had more markings on, but just plain. Oh, a bit on the other side, a bit on the other side, but rust is stuck to it. Maybe just having a sit down by Prospect. And then just had to walk along the edge of there. A bit there before it goes out its waves again. I think there's a bit in there. Well, that's just a tiny bit of blue on, so I'm going to leave that. That's a nicer piece. There's a bit of blue there. That's gone. Well, we're just going to rescue that, and it were down there and a big wave coming and it disappeared, but it washed it up here. But a nice bit on the other side. Well, we'll have a walk back down there and see if we can find out. Now that's a bit of the plate that I had last time down here. Could even be the same bit. Oh, I'm going to leave that again. Well, another heel bit. And some swans have come in. I'll see if they want feeding. Well, do you want feeding? No? Alright. Oh, still nobody hanging about there. Well, the big budgies are coming up. Whoa! Hello! Wait, can you leave me fingers alone? You wanting some? Yeah. That's your lot for today. Hello. What are you saying? Well, tide's coming in and there's an awful lot of redware roof tiles and such like here. And an awful lot of big budgies. Top of a tiny little bottle, probably a little penny perfume or something like that, but I might just take that because we haven't had out off here yet. Still a lot of the big budgies about. Look away if you don't like them. And that's somebody's jawbone, or something's jawbone. But I'm going to leave that. And a bit of very, very worn tin glaze. And some plain stuff. And little ones. And big ones. A few tiny little bits like that, but I'm going to leave them. Well, definitely a bit of willow. Yeah, I think that's willow. Oh, see if there's anything on that bit. Bit of something here. I think that's a bit of probably Chinese inspired willow or Chinese inspired, but it's not enough. Well, can you spot the willow? And there's a bit of willow edging, so but I'm going to leave that. There's lots of little bits like this, but I mean back home I would I'd take them to do something with, but down here there's nothing too much, so I won't get left. No, sun's setting, tide's coming in, and there's a lot of these big budgies. Well, there's a bit of that, and that looks like probably a car brake shoe or something like that. Well, people find the ceramic knuckle bones, five stones, jacks, whatever. But that's like an original knuckle bone. Oh, well, a tiny little bit there. Oh, I want to say that willow, but I don't think it is. That's some railings there. Well, that's a bit, right, come in, roof of pagoda. We'll take it anyhow. And again, tiny little bit of blue. I'll leave that. Well, a nice big chunk. Very shell edge pearl there, I think. With big ripples. It's about to get washed away.
I did speak to her about it. No, I already asked her.
I might stay here and then go back if you like.
Right, the finds from another trip down to the Thames. Let's get rid of some of the rubbish. Yeah, well, another one of them, and we've got the battery out of it, so all that's going in the bin. And the first bit I found, probably some willow inspired or other work, but and this, you can see it's a rocker switch for a light switch. A few bits missing. Vitreous. GEC. That's General Electric Company, England. So, yeah. I do like finding these bits with all mechanical bits in. Better than the bits of plastic we have nowadays. And a bit of tin glazed. Can't make out what it is, probably just a bit of water. I don't even know, well, that looks like a boat or something, but I'll come back to that. And big bit, bottom of a plate, I should think. Some nice flowers on it. And a few bits of blue. I don't know whether there's just decoration on that. And that, I've been reading something that somebody had put up on Facebook, and I thought, well, it looks like spongeware, but it doesn't look like spongeware. But it turns out it's like a splatterware, or they roll it on with a rag, just dab it on. So it is a sort of spongeware. That's a new name for me. And a few bits of pipe heel, non have got any names on or letters on the bottom so to identify them. It was one of the reasons why I brought them on, to try and see if there was out. Well, thickness of that one makes it quite late, middleish way, and a little bit earlier I think. And chunks of willow, and we always know there's some willow. One of the guys on the bridge, pity his head's missing, but I might be able to use that for, well, if I found it back home I could use it. With being a Thames find and not having a crafting licence, I can't. And just a bit of flowery bit. And lots of bits of blue and white, bit of willow, bit double-sided. The bit that were crusted onto it did manage to come off in the end. I don't think any of these others are double-sided. No, just all little bits. And this nice piece. Bit of that bit's broken off. But I'm sure I've had this design before on plates I found down the river. And this bit, hand painted. I think Chinese export or import, whichever way around you want to call it. But when I turn it over, yeah. And again, it's a pity there's not more of that. Would have been a nice ball, probably going that way or that way. But yeah, very fine porcelain. And a chunk of Staffordshire slipware. I do find a bigger piece later in another video. But I still want to find a really big piece. And little bottle top, probably off like a penny perfume or something like that. You can just see the mould line there. So it is a two-part mould, so quite late-ish. And a couple of bones. The original like knuckle bone, what they used for the game before they went over to the ceramic ones in Victorian times. Man, that's probably off somebody's lunch. And I picked this one up because I thought, oh, it's been cut, been used for something, but it turns out it's a bit of a lamb bone, and they do have that groove in as normal. Oh well. And a bit of this, which I thought was later than what it is, but it turns out to be early-ish. So I printed this off, which makes that quite old, with the deeper grooves. Or deeper scalloping, I should say. They go more even there. Yeah, interesting bit to have. And focus now. Yeah, a bit of a probably hand blown bottle, and then applied top on it there. You can see the joint on that bit there. But this bit, and I thought it went like that city at the top, but it actually, you can look at it, you can see part of a shield there, so it goes that way, with a buckle there. And I thought, well, it's going to be City of London, but what? And a little bit of research, and it turns out to be City of London Maternity Hospital. And you can see just part of the sword there, and the cross, and the city there. Obviously it doesn't have the belt buckle round there, but yeah. And a little bit of information about that. It was originally formed in 1750 and went through various name changes and such like, and was originally in Islington, and it changed its name to the City of London Maternity Hospital in 1918. So this is from 1918 upwards and not earlier. But it was bombed during the Second World War and rebuilt afterwards, and I think then they moved it later on to somewhere else. But yeah, that's that's during pre-First World War up to Second World War. So interesting little bit. Pity there's not more of it, because I like finding these maker's marks and identifying marks and such like. But we'll have to see. Oh, I forgot about this piece. When I saw that, I thought, oh, it's just a bit of red wear or something like that. But when I turned it over, I saw that white on it, so I thought, well, that's part of a sugarcone mould. Then I noticed that is the base of a sugarcone mould. And with this low fire in it, I think it's quite an early one. Probably 1700s, maybe a touch later. But that's where it all drained out and leaving the sugar inside as a cone. And I found plenty of sugarcone pieces, but I've never found the bottom bit. So yeah, that is quite an interesting piece. And I've got a few interesting redware pieces on the next video on another trip down to the Thames. So what few bits are we going to put into the frames of fame this time? You'll have to keep watching. Well, it's goodbye from both of us down the Thames today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you on another one.